Farmers today are facing rising costs, volatile markets, and extreme weather. The Better Way to Farm podcast digs into strategies to help you take control of farm inputs and maximize profit so your farm can thrive for generations. Remember to take advantage of our free resources at abetterwaytofarm.com. Now, from America's Heartland, here's your host.
Hello and welcome to today's episode. Thanks for tuning into the podcast. Rod here at A Better Way to Farm, where we improve yields and increase profits. And we are excited today. I've got a whole table full of people here we're going to share with you. We're going to talk about upcoming field days. These are opportunities for you to come and see the system in action. I'll run around the table with some quick introductions here. We've got from Van Buren County, Iowa, there would be three of us. That's down in southeast Iowa. There's myself, Charles, and Chris. From out in western Iowa, we've got two individuals who we're excited to have on here with us, and that'd be Preston and Tyler. And from northeast Iowa, right up on the Minnesota border, is Mason. And so let's talk about the different field days, guys, that we're going to have. Mason, let's start with you. You've already had one field day. Tell us where it was and how it turned out. What did people see?
So we just had one in Mississippi, and we had a nice root pit there. A lot of side-by-sides with the 2x2 and in-furrow, different applications, micronutrients, sugars, plant growth regulators. We had a lot of people attend and want to join the team very quickly after they saw the differences, what the fertility program can do versus what they were doing with their dry. So we had really, really good turnout, really a lot of interest in that area.
Yeah, it's really cool. And guys, there's opportunities to see these all the way from basically the East Coast out into the far west and the Northwest up into the plains there. So let's start out. Charles, you're going to have basically be involved with three different field days. Tell us where they are and can you give us a date?
Yes, we're going to be in St. Genevieve, Missouri on August 21st. We will have a field day in Pocahontas, Iowa on August 23rd and one in Martville, New York on September 12th.
So, Charles, what can the people hope to gain when they're there? What are they going to be able to see?
We've got side-by-side comparisons, starting out with just nitrogen, isolation, then just nitrogen, which we call the check. And we just keep adding until we get to the full system.
Absolutely. Preston, I know you're going to be involved in several field days this year, but in particular, talk to us about one of them that you're really excited about.
So I'm really excited about going to Geneseo, Illinois on August 16th. That'll be a fantastic event. I'm really excited about the host and all the different kind of things that you're going to be able to see there. The side-by-side comparisons, absolutely. Some different products, and you'll be able to see it and touch it and smell it and feel it.
Absolutely. And I know Kurt really well, who's going to be the actual host for that. And he's been talking to me all the way through, and he is so excited about what he's testing, what he's seeing, and what's going on. Chris, you're going to have a field day at your own farm. This is not your first time. This is a little bit of experience coming in here. Tell us when it is and where it is.
Yeah, so September 13th, it's going to be a Saturday. We're going to be in Milton, Iowa, just outside of a little town called Milton out in the country. And I don't know how many field days we've had. 3 or 4 probably as of now.
I think. Yeah.
But we are mainly focusing on high gallon in-furrow starter fertilizer trials with micronutrients and sugar. And then we're going to have a drone demonstration. We do quite a bit of foliar feeding with that. And we haven't been in the dry fertilizer business for quite some time now. So we're kind of focusing on that. The food's going to be really, really good. And just like Preston said, hands-on experience, talking with other farmers in the area, guys that have been with us for some time and guys that are brand new. So it's always a good time.
Yeah, and I'm excited about that, coming in and saying, how can we replace, what kinds of replacement values can we get out of a liquid program? And then to do the studies and say this much is safe to use. It's one thing to say, I'm going to put on 20 gallon of starter. It's another thing to say, I put on 20 gallon of starter and it cut my stand by 12,000 plants. That's not very cool. And so a lot of studies in there that are going to take really valuable information home to the grower. Tyler, let's talk about another one that you're stoked up about down in Missouri.
Yeah, absolutely, Rod. So August 2nd, you are looking to make some money, increase your yield, or just hang out with a really cool group of individuals. Come down to Middleton, Missouri, and take a look at their field day. I know that they've had a phenomenal field days in the past, some with weather. So, bring a raincoat just in case. But they always do a fantastic job putting on that field day. I'm super excited about what they've got to offer. And you're absolutely going to see everything from maybe it's one of the products that you've heard us talk about on a social media. Maybe it's a podcast or a TikTok or Facebook. But the cool thing is that where you make the money, where you increase your yield is based off a soil test. And we're going to walk through how that's done. And we're going to show you their full program, which is what the soil test on their farm calls for. And that's where you're going to see how to make some money.
Absolutely. One of the keys that people really like is the root pit. And there'll be one there. I'm sure they had one last year. Mason, you had a root pit. You taught, so to speak, out of it while you were in Mississippi. Tell us what things you were showing people. Why did they like it? What was the interest in it?
So a lot of it is on a wet year. Usually people say you have a shallow root system. And especially down in Mississippi there, they had a really, really wet spring. Just their soil type alone, they were expecting roots down maybe 1.5 feet, 2 feet, at most 3 feet. So we dug the hole. I went down 3 feet, had roots down there, went down 4 feet, still had roots. We kept digging down to 5 feet, still had roots. It was just getting too hot, so we quit for the day. But we were down 5 feet when they were expecting to be only 2 feet down. And so using the proper in-furrow and using some adjuvants to help penetrate that soil profile, where they're seeing a tremendous, tremendous root system as deep down as 5 feet. So that's something they were not expecting. And that was just 2 years of using that one product. So,
it's funny because I get people, soil roots. Well, no, but the fact of the matter is the more soil that the roots come in contact with, the more nutrients they can extract and the more yield that can build. Let's change ship. I don't want to talk about yours yet, Mason. You've got a couple of others that you're going to be helping with. Tell us about where those are going to be and when.
So we've got a couple here. They're going to have corn, soybeans, and alfalfa. We have one in Greencastle, Indiana, August 9th.
And that's going to be fantastic. I know both those people really well and think a lot of them, and I know they're going to do a great job. And I've talked to them. They're all excited to do it. Let's change gears, Mason. Let's talk about yours. How many of these field days have you had now on your farm?
This will be our 5th year.
Your 5th year. Congratulations. That's a commitment. Last year, you had a root pit. Let's talk about what you saw in your root pit. And then why did you bring the trackhoe back and dig it deeper?
So we dug down. This is the first one we've ever done. And so I had called you, Rod, and said, hey, how deep down do we go? And he said, typically, 5, 6 feet, go down 6 feet. So we did. And really neat to see, all the roots down that deep. We've got a fairly deep profile. But then just out of curiosity, I took a shovel and I thought, maybe it goes down another foot or another 1.5 feet. And I was down about 3 feet. And I'm like, hey, we still got roots down here. So I called Rod back and I said, hey, we still got roots down. What's the deepest you guys have seen roots? And he said, 10 feet. And I said, perfect. I've got a backhoe that will go down 11 feet. We're going to try it. And so we kept digging. And we still had roots down at 10.5 feet.
That's amazing.
Unreal.
Really coming. And that's how you pull all that potassium up. Need I remind you that in the top 6 feet of the soil, Dr. Mulvaney would say there's 360,000 pounds potassium. The question is, how do I access it? And you're not just going 6 feet. You're going almost double that. You're down 10.5 feet. And that's fantastic. So talk to us. Did I get the date on your field day? Can you share that with us?
That is going to be August 15th. And then we've also have another one in Oshkosh, Wisconsin on August 22nd, where we're also going to see some really good corn up there too. They're doing a lot with a drone foliar. They're really pushing the limits on that. So it's going to be neat to see what they did with that.
And I think one of the cool parts for me is that all of these field days, it's not about selling product. It's about bringing information to the growers. And that's why you're going to see so much about drones. It's why you're going to see studies on different methods of application of things and talking about foliar feeding and all the different things that we need to do. The last one I want to talk about is we're going to be up in South Dakota. So those of you that are up in the Dakotas, if you'd be so inclined that you'd like to come to Chamberlain, South Dakota, we would love to meet you there. And we're super excited to be up there on the 10th day of September. We'll be up there with Scott. I know we're going to have a big root pit there. He did a fantastic job last year showcasing the products, and he's been working with the system about 10 years. So he brings a wealth of information to the table, and there'll be people there like these guys we're talking, somebody that's been with us 1 year, somebody that's brand new, doesn't know anything about what we do, and people that's been with us for 10 plus years. So guys, if show and tell is your thing, if you're like, we're all from Missouri when it comes time, and the bottom line is you got to prove it to me. You got to show it to me. It's the show me state. But all of us in agriculture, we want to see it. And this is your chance to see it. Come on out. get a free meal, grab some great information, meet some people who are like you trying to figure out how to do this a little bit better. And we'll look forward to seeing you at one of these field days this fall. And we really do hope you're having a better day.